Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the canyon. Welcome back to yet another situation of the introduction of variables. If you tuned in for CABS, prepare to be disappointed because you are here under the, we wish it was starry skies, but the light pollution washes all that out. We can't see the stars except on certain nights. I can see some of the really bright ones directly overhead. Welcome aboard for Bugs. This is the first installment of Bugs. It's the nighttime. The air is alive with the sounds of bugs. Just keep an eye, do the magic eye thing, unfocus, and just watch the movement. There are 8 bajillion crickets out here. And there's also something large on a rock over there. And it is not bright enough for me to see what it is with the naked eye, but I can see it from the viewfinder. Also, we have a Dynatrap freshly installed back here, if you know what that is. We've got a thermocell right next to me. I would like to escape from this venture as lightly devoured as possible. So what we did is, because in honor of Bugs, in honor of filming under the, I believe the color of the Kelvin of the bulbs that we have for the canyon lights is like, I want to say it's 1800. So I hope that I can get a color balance for you that's remotely acceptable, but it's going to be in the yellow-orange area. We tried to cycle through and get a color balance that looked somewhat representative of what I see with the naked eye, and it is just not happening. I wish I could welcome you to a wonderful evening here in the canyon, but it's honestly too early. If there's a thing that rocks are really good at, it's holding on to heat. I'm just starting to get a breeze that you could reckon to be cool. It is 80, 24, 65, 80 degrees and 65% relative humidity, and the closer you get to obstacles, the hotter it gets. The beauty of the desert being that within about 90 minutes, it will be downright chilly out here. It's the desert. There is that wheel stander action. Deep. So, Olekonomu here has a bit of an issue with throwing a leg up high. And I don't explicitly know what aspect of the geometry. Something is just, we've got something maybe not set perfectly. I do believe, if memory serves, I would like to say that we don't have adequate link separation between upper and lower link at the axle side, because these are the J-Concepts geologic infections, so they are the full 5.75 inches, and it sure would be nice if we could space them out more, but I don't think we can space them out enough. Rolling in second, slightly louder, and if memory serves, a little bit better at the side hill. And Gumby and the Economu, both Capra axled. Look how flat that stays. Remarkable. It lifted the front for a millisecond. This is the thing about the mystery and majesty of putting Mias Capras under an optic cage. With the absolute softest inserts imaginable. Let's try going even lower. Get down real low right there. I have not employed, like, you have to force it to lift a wheel. And I mean, the 525s with the real soft insert, they act lower. We're going to do the same sort of scoring approach that we do for ordinary cabs. Bugs will get treated the exact same way as we would treat cabs. So out of a possible 5, in terms of side hilling, Gumby is solid. An absolute solid 5. Economoo side hills pretty well. We get a decent amount of roll on the cage. There's a decent amount of it's 10 millimeters longer shock on Economoo. Oh, that is a truly wonderful breeze there. And when it gets into the point where the tire starts to load, we'll get that raise right there. And if you stay into it, he will fall victim. So if you know where to point your management, it's a 4. Gumby by a point. And that is not unexpected. Okay, guys, I'm in the midst of transition of moving camera 1 from position 1 at the side hill to position 2 over here at Oblivion. And I would like to draw your attention to the mountain. Whatever creature makes its living eating crickets, they are not doing their job. It looks like a cinnamon raisin muffin. That is what we in the industry, look right here. That is what we call a lot of crickets. I have questions. During the day, where do all of these crickets go? Am I going to flip a rock over one day and 8,000 crickets are going to come out from under it? I have no fear of crickets. I don't fear most insects, except ones I know can do me immediate bodily harm. Nevertheless, I'm not going to go bear hug that rock right now because, baby, that's a lot of crickets. Anybody want to buy some crickets? You can come out here and catch as many as you'd like. Let me give you another little anecdote. I am barefoot, as one would anticipate, and as you walk across the ground, every footfall, you hope not to step on one, and when your foot rises up to move forward, you kick a cricket into the air. Every time you put your foot down and pick it up, you kick a cricket. Every obstacle, whether you can see it or not, is as covered in crickets as the one to my immediate left. And you have to, as I said, do the magic eye thing where you kind of unfocus. And they are all on the southerly face. Whatever face of the obstacle got the most sun during the day, that's where they head towards. The camera is doing a bit better job than my eye, because I can't see where I'm supposed to be aiming. There we go. This is the first time, the first run out here, I have converted the old Gumby here is on an MT4, Sanwa MT4, because it has the best possible option for four-wheel steer, because the lever moves so fast. I think, however, the lever is not configured in the direction I want, and it also has a center detent. We're not penalizing for the use of tools. Gumby has four-wheel steer and Economoo has dig. Yeah, it's kind of reversed. I wish I had it reversed. I have to drive, honestly, extra slow because the camera is picking it up really well. To me, honestly, it's kind of dark. And it is full, we are in full distraction Jackson, where I see just a lot of crickets, a whole lot of crickets. So it should be this way, yes. We can get down real low right there. Someone had said in a video that had Gumby in it earlier that too much bag on the tire. I argue. Counterpoint. Too much bag occurs when, see, I can't tell if I'm going to hit that or not. Yeah, I couldn't, I can't see that white ball. It's too much bag if it starts to impair your ability to maintain the line that you want to be on. And basically, nothing impairs the line that I want Gumby to be on. So I can tell you one or more things. First of which is, crickets don't care about the thermocell. It does appear I have not seen nor felt a single mosquito. So positive thermocell review so far. Oh, hold on. Hold on. How do we get right here? There are instances. Ah. Are we going to break them? I mean, if we keep that up, absolutely. When you pick anything up or set anything down, it's like setting a book down on a dusty table, but instead of dust, it's crickets. You can hear the distant coyotes in the wash. Had to come up a little higher. The geologic infections, if you point them in, they just absolutely go. And them being a quasi-pin, their dig performance is exceptional. 525 geologic infection, anyone? But I mean, have I replaced his dig servo horn? You know I haven't. Did I put a metal servo horn that's the same dimensions as this one aside to replace it? You know I did. But I got to take the cage off to get to it, and I kind of don't want to. When he's in shape, I would argue he feels as good as, if not better than Gumby, like tire-wise. The geologic infections, I refuse to say rock bumps. The geologic infections are doing fantastic. There's just something about where, like, I need significantly more damping than I have now. Because we've got so much weight out so far, you really get a pendulum action. You have to go real slow and careful with them. And let's not forget, that is a Rhino S12 in there, the little short, a 3630 in there, moving 9 pounds. He might be a little bit over 9 pounds of economoo. Now see, when you're loaded this way, he doesn't want to lift. He gets a little bit of slippery, slidey action because, yeah, I think the weight is a little heavier than optimal. And ba-bow. When he goes out of shape, he goes properly out of shape. Gumby, on the other hand, aside from this servo being backwards, the beep is very reassuring because it lets me know that my rear steer is centered. It just, like in moments where you expect that front corner to lift, it just doesn't. That reaction. SA75s. Okay, something's on my foot. Cricket. SA75s are mighty fast. And this has been the four-wheel steer experience of all of my four-wheel steer experiences that has been what genuinely feels the most rewarding. Like the responsiveness, I don't know what it is. It's something about the whole being greater than the sum of the parts. Gumby came together. EXOcutioner gets weird. There's a little bit of geometry tune still out there to be had. There is certainly much heavier. Did you do your due diligence on the shocks? You know I didn't. The wheel tire insert is great. But if you'll notice, when he flops, it's bam. There's no slow roll. And I don't like that, because that is a proper Capra skid where the lower links touch each other on the bottom at the chassis side. So low roll center. So you get a real peculiarity in performance. This is something that might be able to be corrected just by putting a little bit of space between the links. Low roll center is something that either you're into it or you're not into it. And we are going to try the tuning approaches before we try the replacing part approach. It's another 5.4. Because EXOcutioner kind of has known problems, and the problems only really make themselves apparent in certain situations. It doesn't make it happen all the time. Gumby feels really planted, yet maintains this level of maneuverability. EXOcutioner, on the other hand, has this tendency to, the element of surprise. He's going fine, and then he's not going fine. And I want to keep the kind of agility. He's really agile for something that weighs 9 pounds. But I would like a bit more consistency. Consistency is what I'm looking for. Meanwhile, on this guy, what do I want more of? We threw at this guy a near overwhelming sacrifice for vanity, which is when we ghost rode him, as it were, he was just an empty cage, no panels, no drivers, no scale engine in the back, none of it. And when we added nearly a pound of 3D printed nonsense, which makes him absolutely fantastico, the performance did not fall off nearly as much as I thought that it would. So we embrace and we sally forth. So before venturing out, I was reading as much of the documentation, against my nature, of the thermocell as possible. And it says, put it in the area of 15 minutes before, close the 15-foot area. I just put it, it's right between my feet. The tripod is immediately before me, and the thermocell is right at my feet. And as long as it keeps the mosquitoes off of my legs, everything's golden. So we've got width here. But like right there, see, these are those moments. You get them rock bumps. I said it. I didn't say geological fictions. You get those guys, and you aim them at a line that they are exceptionally well suited to, and you get that. Solid 5 right there. Get this guy going. The four-wheel steer control being reversed to what I like, because this is, again, first time it's been on the rock since I converted him over to this radio. It's kind of like playing a game where you're used to inverted controls without the controls inverted. All right, now. EXOcutioner, well, it's like a 5 performance. Gumby did it even better. So like 5 with an advantage. But it's, wow. I mean, sometimes you can't predict what they're going to do. So a full 15 to 13 is where we sit at right now. Like, there is no rise. None. I have not employed the four-wheel steer. Got that one on the brush. I was trying to get as down low on that line as possible. I want to turn, nope, it's backwards. Try to think in reverse. You can't do it. If you're an inverted guy and you try to do it non-inverted, you can't think in reverse, or I can't think in reverse. Also, something, let's hope it's moths, something keeps hitting me in the head. I don't know what it is. And every once in a while, I'll feel something brush my ankle, and when I look, it's gone. Bugs is the appropriate title for this. Yeah, you keep that low throttle input. Trying to get as close in. Oh, jeez. Second pull through. He brought a cricket down with him. Economoo, like 5+ as well. These two are both exceptionally well suited to that kind of a line. Nevertheless, 15-13. Let's see how well Hannah Montana is lit up. So on the main camera, I run a field view. And my hope is that the field view is showing me not what I'm actually seeing. Because two identical cameras, two Canon M50s, same lens, same everything. And the output on camera 2, at least to the preview, looks very different here under these 1800 kV lights. Got it, got it, got it. Straighten. Ooh. I wish that I could see what I'm getting hung on, but I can't. Can't even see it very well. I'm getting blue-eye dazzle. Okay, what if I watch? Okay, I'm just gonna watch through the viewfinder. I'm gonna watch through the preview. It's real high up right there. That'll settle down. Settle it down. Out of the way, crickets. I'm coming through. Well, I hope I'm coming through. I feel like I'm FPV right now. All right. For the conditions, I feel pretty good about that. Oh, all I can see is the movement. All I see is crickets. And then descenderating. Oh. I'm sitting in a part of the canyon where I am in a hole between the lights. So where I'm sitting right now is basically just dark. And it's acting like eternal twilight to my eyes. I'm genuinely having a tough time focusing. The preview, these are all excuses. You can file them in the excuse column. The monitor is, 18 inches from my face. It is quite bright. Then we have a row of lights above that are quite bright. And then when I look at the point where the rig is at, it's kind of dark. I'm also quite far away. Was that enough excuses? I feel it was adequate. See, like right here, doesn't really throw it high. Stays in. I can't tell if that high side is lifting. Let the dig pull. Even it back out. See how we look on the descent. Ooh, see that? See that? That's that low roll center. It will keep you stable deeper, right? You can get further into getting mixed up and it will stay down. But when it doesn't stay down anymore, Right there. Let's try digging it all the way down. There it was. You know what? Right now, going into the waterfall. Let's just say it as it is. Advantage. That was just better. That was geologic infection better. 2 definitely sort of, well, bigger than class 2. I mean, I don't know, these guys aren't sportsmen or anything. They're both caged. Going into impossible waterfall, advantage to economoo. Don't shuttle. Push it back, cut it back, cut it back, cut it back. Yeah, what, yeah. You gotta finish. Get the exit. That's more than enough. That's more than enough. Victory pose up high. That's a 5. That's a 5, because what did we do with the geologic infections? We did the waterfall. Okay, he's got the tools, he's got Megs, he's got the unwillingness to lift. R575's the big advantage here. Other way. Other way. There. There. Right there. Up higher. Oh, I gotta go back to the field view. Nope. Nope. When the axle don't turn back, you go turn it over yourself. I don't know what part of the mounting for that scale motor broke, but they broke. That thing is absolutely flopping around back there. And I think what might be happening, let's see if we can get past it, is that when the servo, when it gets stuffed all the way in under the weight transfer, the servo's getting bound up on the scale motor. I mean, this is a 5.4 right now. This is a 5.4. He gets one more go. But that will mean that we go into Tumbledore with Gumby up by 1 point. Just ejects him. So maybe a situation of the inserts are indeed too soft for this obstacle, because that was economo all the way. Like, that was pretty much a single shot right up the waterfall. Without exaggeration, this is all the crickets I've ever seen in my whole life in one night. Dead pull. We got to do these one shots. Any pause here? None. Because these guys are running 850s. They usually run 1300s. Could not find the second 1300. I don't know where I put it. So they're both on 850s. They both weigh around 9 pounds. I get this fear. Gumby is an absolute descender. It's crazy. I have not seen a mosquito still. Mosquito count 0. Gonna pull it back. Yes, sir. Tumbledore is Gumby's jam. Like, too easy. And despite, regardless of how much the inserts push back on that tire, he descends like he's stuck to the surface. I have to retrain my brain for this four-wheel steer. It reacts so fast. Oh, was looking real good. I didn't even have a chance to go for any four-wheel steer. Get right there. Now I want to go opposite. Opposite. Got bellied. Got bellied. Oh. It's really not going to end well. So Gumby has got to show something reasonable up blind side to take a 4 here, which will leave a bit of an open door for Economoo. If he doesn't do blind side, that's a real open door for Economoo. Man, his falls are wild. I just did the thing. Pick the rig up. Realize you're still holding the radio. Brush the trigger with your arm and do a burnout on your other arm. This is why it's the blind side. Gotta steer by memory. I can't tell where I'm going. I can't tell where I'm going. Does he have that? Yeah. Did he have it tonight? Not really. We'll factor in the night a little bit, but it doesn't change the fact. Like, we'll give him a 3.5 because we couldn't get blind side and we could not get the center. Breach on. Even better. Ooh. Okay. Looking for slip here. Just a moment. Like, I heard all 4 tires go, shuh. Yeah, that plastic servo horn on the dig is not, it ain't helping. Okay, is that going to betray? You got to go real slow to keep it down. He's very nearly, doesn't really have that gluey action of Gumby on the descent, but pretty good. He's wider here. Ooh, that looked better. Oh, that's real nice. It's real nice. Even with the 3-wheel motion up there, Geologic Infection's doing proper heavy lifting. Ooh, that, can't even set it down. That rear is what? Got to power in. That rear was 8 inches off the ground, and there was nothing I could do to put it back down. So basically, it's right here. This is, can he pull out a tie? Because if he makes this, he's going to pull a tie. Ooh, that's not. Ugh. Well, he's not getting the tie here, it doesn't look like. Perhaps ancient curse, perhaps something else. There are a scant handful of crickets on Tumbledore, like 3 or 4. Just, okay, we can try the pull over here. It's like he has enough droop in him on those 110s. His wheelbase acts kind of dynamic. Okay, that's the tie. I'll call it. Would you dig for me, please? Thank you. Saw a little momentary lift there. I think it's a little bit of link positioning and a little bit of oil weight. And if we get there, I think EXOcutioner is gonna introduce that stability. He doesn't have the big body twist. Right there. You got to get a little more crafty. Oh, I feel like he's got it in him. I feel like he's got it in him. Come on. Use the power of geology. Didn't make me get up. Didn't make me get up. Where's it at? Where is it? Where's it at? It's not here. It's not here. So, what do we have to say about bugs? Well, we know what it means. We understand the title, I think. There's a lot of bugs out here. There's a whole lot. Who is victorious? Who reigns supreme? I can't give it to either of them, honestly. There were strengths, weaknesses, like over here at Tumbledore, EXOcutioner was just better. At the waterfall, I would give advantage there. So if we're given points, I would say Side Hill, Gumby. Oblivion, Gumby. Tumbledore, EXOcutioner. Hannah Montana, EXOcutioner. So it would come down to who do you think did better at Gate 5? Who was better at Hans Booby? It's an even wash. All other things aside, I would put it 2.5 to 2.5. What did we have with the splits of the 5s and 4s? 23 to 23? Right thereabouts? 22, 22, 23, 23? It's a virtual tie, and that, for me, is wholly unanticipated, because I've never driven these two in remotely close proximity to one another. Like, they've definitely never been wheeled at the same time. They are definitely built following sort of different philosophies, and they were very close to one another in terms of final performance. This is a testimonial to the power of the megalithic and the power of the geologic infection, I think. Those are indeed Mias Capras under Gumby, and the most inexpensive, under $150, full built, delivered overnight Amazon Capras. There's no real cheap Amazon Dig Box Stealth X in Gumby. Neither had a real substantial advantage over the other. And I was calling it in my head 2-point victory to Gumby. That's where I saw it. So a tie feels pretty good. What it also tells me is that I have a variety of other inserts that are specific to LPs, 525 inserts, including some Team Revolt Slansky. So I think we need to do a little bit of a test phase and see, like, these work. They do really well. But there's a point where they hit a bit of a proverbial wall and they stop. When it comes to the EXOcutioner, oil weight, a little bit of geometry adjustment, and I think we can refine them up. They are both in that sort of last 10% of the tune. and we will see what we can make of it. I think I came out bite-free. Shout out Thermacell, sponsor me. Shout out all of you for coming along with us out here into what has now transformed into a genuinely lovely evening. The breeze is cool. The temperature has dropped at least 2 degrees. If you go out into the dark middle zone, out sort of there, the camera is doing a lot with the light. It's actually pretty dark out there in the middle, and it's not near any of the obstacles, so it's really quite cool out there relative to the rest of the place. This is the canyon in the night. If you've never seen it before, welcome to the canyon in the night. Can you tell that this building right here, this is the post office, can you tell that they're not running some 1800 Kelvin lights over there? Because that light is straight up blue. Thank you so much, everybody. I have to clean all this stuff up. I have to try to step on as few crickets as possible on the way back to the shop. And I will now make the 4 trips. There he is. There he is. Let's, we'll see our way out. Will he turn or... He's turning. People are probably shooting off fireworks. So, thank you for this final time. I hope that you tune in to see whatever we happen to have coming up next. And in between now and then, please, one and all, do your very best to have a good one, everybody. We will see you again here from the canyon, day or night, with whatever shenanigans feels like the thing to do on that day.